Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back again to Cannon for the TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yeah, two back-to-back shows. Cannon Project don't. It's like London bus. You wait for a show, and all of a sudden you see like 3 or 4 buses and 3 or 4 Cannon Project segments. But yes, we've got it's going to be a fun-packed segment. There's not going to be any blood on the dance floor for this one. But we're going to get into this one on the other side of the music intro. Yes, indeed. Welcome back again to Cannon for the TV. And yeah, you probably know that you noticed that we're almost 15 minutes late and someone's still got 3G Wi-Fi, and that's not me. But anyway. Paul, how is you, geezer?
Yeah, I'm very well. Glad we're on the cusp of the return of the Premier League. So, yeah, it feels like an eternity just waiting for this World Cup to have kind of come and gone. Now we're ready to get back in it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, all good.
Nice one. John the geezer. Well, sorry, it's Father Christmas. Father John the geezer, Christmas. How is you?
Yeah, good to be back. I was starting to get back off the Arsenal. I've missed it a lot, you know. Sometimes you can get a bit bored of it, but football ain't really for me. I like the big games, and that's probably the best World Cup. Hold on, Alexa's just come on. Set off Alexa. Be back, Alex, among fellow gooners.
Good. It's good to have you back. And actually, before we get into this one, Paul, I've got to say, your Saturday big Sunday show.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done, geez.
Let's get back to it again.
Yeah, lovely segment. You know what I mean? But well done, fella. And we'll all be announcing actually this Friday who's won the awards for the best segment on the platform. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I'll do it on Friday. Anyhow, let's get into this segment on Cannon for the TV. And I don't know about this one. Gabriel Jesus. Paul, wasn't that an injury waiting to happen anyway? Because his output, even goals aside, I mean, his output coming defending, tackling, you know, literally being roughed up, wasn't that an injury waiting to happen anyway, Paul?
I think as a footballer, I think anywhere on the field when you're competitive and you're full of energy and you're going in for tackles and yeah, people want to get close to you and get near you, you're always running that risk. And yeah, it was innocuous the injury at the World Cup, which happened, but I think it's just one of those things. It could have happened to anyone, anyone that can kind of tweak a knee. Certainly on those surfaces over there, they didn't look the greatest. I mean, there was lots of green dye that was being painted on there, and that to try and glorify it up. So I just think it's just a culmination of just a bit of bad luck and maybe a bad surface that's caused the injury. But as I say, I don't think it's a given that it would have been him or certainly something that's waited to happen for him. But obviously he's played a lot of games. But again, you're going to be playing those games, and at the end of the day, he's that kind of player. But I don't think he's curtailed off like he's kind of like in the red zone or burnt out. I just think he's doing other things for the team. That's obviously helping, and obviously the team was firing before the World Cup. But as I say, I don't think it could have happened to anyone. In all honesty, I think that World Cup, and sadly, I think there's only been that one. The only real main injury, I think, after that World Cup, isn't it? I don't think anyone else Sorry. You had Manuel Neuer getting knocked out of the World Cup and then deciding to go away on holiday and then breaking his leg skiing. Who in the right mind would suddenly do that and suddenly say, "Okay, I need a holiday," straight in slap bang in the middle of your season when you should be doing it? It'd be if I was chairman, I'd probably shot him.
Yeah.
But now they're scurrying around for a goalkeeper. So yeah,
You should have gone to the North Pole. It's safer skiing up there.
Alfie, let me go to you in case we lose you again. Wasn't the Gabriel Jesus injury just waiting to happen? It was going to happen anyway, wasn't it? There we go. We've lost him. John, save the day, mate.
Santa saves the day. Santa Maria. Alex, what I said before, I weren't bothered about I weren't bothered at all. I knew full well one of our players was going to come back injured. It just it had to be our star player. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't make it up, mate. It had to be a player. I'm actually surprised it ain't Xhaka because the amount of stick he's getting every game, Arsenal internationals, he's getting taken out left, right, and I'll be very surprised if he escapes the season injury-free, to be honest with you. The game, Brazil was already qualified, isn't it, as far as I know? Not the game weren't even that relevant. Gets injured, player. I'm sick. This is why I weren't bothered in the World Cup, Alex. You know what I mean? I was in the stars that one of our players was going to get injured. And Martinelli, Xhaka, they're not getting any protection off all their teammates. We need an enforcer in that team now to sort these, to rough the other team up a bit. Get hold of their main player and sort of say, lads, you touch Xhaka, mate, you're going on the deck. You touch Martinelli, you're going. I think we've got that type of player. But I will say the ref standard was very, but they still ain't getting the protection. These players, well, you know, Thingy has got seriously injured, and we've meant to now, but it seems to be getting worse for us. And as I say, Alex, the protection, I could just see it happening. And touching off of that with Ben White, why he come home? Was that a fallout? Was it because they've had it's not to do with it? But as they hush that right up, have they?
Paul, Alfie.
Again, it's all speculation, isn't it? It's at the end of the day, you're hearing one thing. My biggest concern is the leak that it seems to always come out of like the England squad, like be the lineup like the day before, where it should always be hush hush until like the end of or the start of the game, just before when it's announced. That's when it comes out. But there's obviously someone feeding information out of the camp, and yeah, you look at it and you think this thing saying about they've had this agreement, but then he's left for personal reasons. I don't know if you saw like the comments from all the other players, and that had obviously like said so. There was obviously something else going on. So
I said you've read what happens. Know what happens because what they're saying basically on the, but no one's gave an official account of it.
Yeah. Well, I the last bit of news that I read was that he put a message on his Instagram just saying that he's back. Prior to that, there was some news about him leaving for personal reasons, and I thought, you know what, if it's personal reasons, we don't need to know about it. But
yeah, I agree.
That's how I know.
If I was him, though, it'd be my personal reason would be the fact that I didn't get like even say 5, 10, 15 minutes of just any of those kind of games. And so I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah. I believe Alfie has got some serious problems with his 2G Wi-Fi, so I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon. So it was a little bit unfortunate, which leads me to go on to the second news segment. So we've kind of established that literally injuries happen. It's just, our is he our marquee signing? Was Gabriel Jesus our marquee signing, Paul? Is he a marquee signing for Arsenal?
He was our probably number one priority, I suppose. That was our kind of like number one position that we had to go for. So you'd kind of say that, yeah, he probably
Yeah.
was our marquee signing of that season.
Okay. So if we know injuries are going to happen, have Arsenal prepared? Did they prepare themselves for the eventuality that maybe a marquee sign or players were going to come back from the World Cup? And is Eddie Nketiah not the answer, Paul? Is he not? Is the answer? It's got to be the answer.
He has shown last season that there's a player there who can be the answer to kind of come in and actually show. He obviously needs to play with the first group of players and not coming on it when the lineup's been kind of tinkered and changed with substitutes. So it's looking a little bit kind of different to your normal first choice 11. So it'll be interesting to see the game time he gets and how dangerous he looks with that whole team as one. And yeah, just taking that game against Juventus, I thought he looked dangerous. I thought overall, I thought we did actually control the game very well over the whole. But it was just two silly kind of like moments of the game right at the end of both halves that gave them the goals. And two assists from Arsenal players, and that was it. But yeah, we had 2 goals disallowed, and but yeah, I just thought the way we kind of kept the ball and we were kind of we're very patient, and maybe that's the problem at the minute. It's just maybe just a bit too. We just need a little bit more injection of pace and a bit more directness. I think in our play because it was very sideways in and around the penalty area. But yeah, I was happy with what was put out there, and certainly with the youngsters that come on as well. Wanyeri as well come on, and is it Crozier? What's his double barrel name? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the young attacker. He come on. He looked very.
Crozier Dubry.
Dubry, that's the one.
Yeah,
and he looked decent. So it'll be interesting to see how much potentially they get used throughout the whole season, if there is that potential that they come in. Because again, there may be the times where we do actually need that 1 or 2 players to kind of step up, and we don't know. But yeah, I think overall, Nketiah, he's got a lot to prove, and as I said about this 2 years that he's been given, this new contract. Yeah, we've signed a striker for 10 million. The way I see it, we could have lost him for free. We've signed him for 2 years, just over £10 million. So if any striker to really sign for 10 million, I'm not sure what you could probably get. I'm not even probably sure you could probably pick up Peter Crouch at his current stage. But then look, if it doesn't work out and he isn't the answer after that 2 years, we're sure as hell going to get more than 10 million for him if a team comes in and wants to take a gamble and pick him up. So it was a business decision. It had to be done. I think more than anything. And yeah, there is some belief in him, and so that was just that was a given thing. That was a natural kind of progression for the situation. He could have either gone somewhere else for free and maybe tore it up somewhere, and then we look at it and we think, well, that's an opportunity maybe missed.
So Paul, would you give him the 2 years to prove himself, or do you think maybe 1 more season will be enough to?
I said, well, from this is his first year. I would say next year, if again he's not getting the game time, he's not scored or he's taking his chances when he comes in, again, that also is the accelerant of this as well. And this is where you have to kind of change your plan alongside. If he's given the opportunity, certainly when he's playing in this extended period now, because of Jesus being injured, if he doesn't perform, then there is that case, isn't there, that we suddenly say we've got to kind of get in and get someone else in to kind of help out. And if the team is suddenly struggling and not scoring goals, that's where we see that problem. And yeah, if he's still helping the team score goals, then all right, that's fair enough. You still look at it like that, and if he can link up play, then it's as it is. But again, it's if the team dries up and he doesn't hit the ground running and start scoring goals and making things happen, then it's going to be a time up. I would say he's got a 5-year contract. That would put him on, say, 3 years left of his contract. There's enough market value in him if it doesn't go for someone to then take a plunge. Even a newly promoted team the following season probably say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and go for him, and I'm pretty certain they'll be paying more than £10 million.
Paul, before I go to John, can I push you very quickly on Reece Nelson?
Yep.
Injured during the Juventus game. Is he going to be a massive loss for Arsenal, knowing as it stands now, the squad numbers are still quite tight? Is he going to be a massive loss for us?
I think overall, it could be a big loss. I wouldn't say 100% that he would get a lot of game time. And I say that by he isn't that first choice, but he does show that he can be very skillful with the ball. The pace he has when he picks up that ball and he starts running, it's very direct, and it was just really good to see him. I say in that first half, he really kind of tore him to pieces a couple of times running, but yeah, he just needs that little bit of confidence, I think, to go past players and also get those shots on target. I think that's his only problem now that he needs to kind of improve on. It's just that confidence in the final third, in the penalty area, and then it will all come on. But as I say, to be honest, I don't think it is going to be a long term. I don't think they've announced it yet. They're not.
They haven't.
So
yeah.
I don't think it's a proper tear. It's a proper thing. So it could be that it's only, say, like a 2-3 weeks or whatever, or it might have just been precautionary. So he might have felt something, but yeah, give it a little bit of management, and he's come back. But yeah, it didn't look like he actually went down, and he had actually gone when he was in full tilt. So which is obviously better on that side. But yeah, like I say, any kind of player kind of in those kind of areas and come on and inject a bit of pace will be a bit missed. And yeah, Marquinhos, when he come on, something missing from him. In all honesty, he hasn't got the same
experience,
the same engine experience. Yeah, again, you look at it and you think, well, he's probably playing in that game -2. That's probably the first time he's probably experienced -2 playing football. It's certainly like that, and you just think, well, yeah, what have I signed up for? But yeah, you look at it and you just think it's. Yeah, I think potentially, if everyone was all fit and healthy, he could be going on loan.
Yeah. John, Eddie and Ketia, the answer. What's the question?
The answer, he's got to be the answer. Who else we got behind him? He's a work in progress. He ain't got what we really need, but they've got to shuffle the pack now, haven't they? A lot of pressure is on that young boy's head. So I think as Arsenal get behind him, I'm sure he's been briefed. I'm sure he's up for it. Professional. He's come through the ranks with Chelsea. He's been at Ireland for so many years. He's hopeful, and yeah, I'd love to see him do well. Whether he can do it is another. He's got a big cross to bear on his shoulders now, hasn't he? He's sort of riding on his shoulders. I'm pretty sure he can bang one in, and that give him a lot of confidence. So hopefully for that game against the Hammers, and Eddie can pop up and knock one in. Like a player, isn't he, to Jesus? You know, you're not going to get the same bloke. So
Yeah.
Arteta's obviously rearrange his squad. I'm not sure what he's front. I assume he is, and he'll have what's it on the wing and Martinelli. I've always fancied giving Martinelli a game up front. You know what I mean? I think that's out of question now. Lucky we've got players that can score from everywhere. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure riding on that kid's head. You know what I mean? So and I hope he can get in early, bang in an early goal, and that'll give him never gonna get. So, Alex, I'm putting my personal feelings back him. Do you know what I mean? Because we do need him to get the goal. So it's gonna be criminal if I try another striker. I will say that. If we don't go buy someone, not replace Jesus, to have the backup to help Eddie out, help G, it's going to be, well, what they say it was last year, a lost opportunities. With 6 points clear of Man City, as a club now, let's push for that title. Let's go ahead. We've got women another decade. So if they're serious, and Arsenal are one of the best clubs in the world, they need to put their money where their mouth is. But yeah, it is a worry. We all know these things happen, and I'm putting all my in Eddie to do the business. I don't think he's not going to be a 20 goal, but he'll be there to support and get enough goals. A good win against the Hammers will do them a world of good.
Do we need to go into the market and buy a striker, Paul? Well, is that not going to upset the apple cart if we go in there and buy a striker? And
yeah, I look at it and I just think, well, you've got to try and I would be looking to still try and play within rather than trying to maybe say someone else who's going to be commanding big wages and game time. And again, when Jesus comes back in, is he going to want to play second fiddle? Is he want to? Does it? Yeah, you look at it like that, and then Nketiah, then back to second choice, third choice, and you look at it like that. Yeah, it is going to set you back. I think all over. Is it the answer? No. Again, spend a lot of money on a striker, but if he isn't suited or hasn't picked up the way we play and hits the ground running, then we could be all right. We've got a striker, but he scored 0 goals and he isn't maybe linking up the play like what the maestro does at the minute. You look at it like that. Well, yeah, all right. We've then gone and tried to kind of plug the gap there, and then suddenly maybe we haven't got the funds available for one of the other areas that we need. And
for example, which other areas do you think?
Really, the big one is the one that needs that protection, doesn't he? Saka. So I'd be getting in Mudryk if it was a deal to be done. I'd be getting him in, no matter what. Get him in. It's
really, Paul. Even over the odds, 80-odd million.
No, not over the odds. I would say
right.
If there's a deal to be done, they've come out and they've said their kind of their fee. I think it was something ridiculous, 120, wasn't it, or something? And yes, there's no way that's gonna happen. So if the player puts his foot down and that goes the right way, then there is something to be talked about. But I just think having a sign in wide, and I remember it it was Arshvin.
Yeah.
Said and it was like, well, that kind of signing coming in and just being on the little wider player, and it took a little bit of time just to kind of get going. But as soon as he scored that first goal, and then 3 months later, he scored 4 at Anfield. So and you look at it like that, and you think, well, there's a player in there, and there's a lot of work rate. So I'd be taking him, and then if I had to, then Martinelli would be going down the middle, and we'd be trying to come up with ways of playing within ourselves, and then maybe looking at strengthening our midfield as opposed to that striker, because I don't think Jesus is going to be out longer than 3 months. And from the way that they've been talking about his recovery at the minute, they seem to be like quite positive. So there's that potential that he could come back even before the 3 months, but you don't know with these things. Comes back and he gets injured again. You know nothing about those things. But I just think maybe it's just a bit too much if we're looking for that player up front, because there's one position there, and who really are you going to attract to then say, oh yeah, but when Jesus is going to be back, you're going to be second fiddle, and whoever comes in is going to be
but we still need another striker. I know what you're saying, but we still need 3 strikers.
Oh, we will need a striker overall, but as I say, I think if we could potentially get through this and then have, say, a Martinelli, that would act as that kind of almost third like one as a cover. I don't think bringing back Balogun would be any better. I still don't think he's ready for the Premier League. As much goals he
I think
scored,
when you're on loan in Europe, you can't come back anyway. I think.
Yeah, it's got to be put in the contract, but as I say, it's one of those where he still needs time, and it's not. We're talking about Nketiah not being ready. Nketiah is still ahead of him in his development. So I don't know. We don't know all the answers. We don't know what or what the savvy about what's going on behind the scenes. But
Yeah. Here's one for you fellas. There's this comment that's just coming to the live chat, and it's coming from Tygonosaurus. Good evening to you, fella. He says, question. Isco, personally not for me. It's free agent. What's your thoughts on getting him? Not for me.
Alex, I can't comment. I don't know the fella.
All right, okay. All right, we'll leave it.
If he's any good, get him in.
He's 30, isn't he? He's going to be 31 next year, I think.
And riddled injuries as well. So, for me, it's a no. But for you, Paul?
31 now.
Again, no it's another risk. If you're bringing someone in at 31 to play in the Premier League, that's going to be something that's a lot more demanding than this guy's ever played. Then, are you expecting him to kind of hit the ground running? I don't think so.
Although then, look at that, you can say Giroud, how old is he, isn't it?
Just the presence. That's all he is. He's just got a knack of being there, isn't he? I wish
that's
almost
all you need, though, isn't it? Get the ball in and do it.
Yeah, I wish we had a Giroud still.
Yeah. Likewise. Other comments in the live chat. Ashudi, the moderator for the evening show, says, "Hey up, Gooners. Welcome to all California TV and with Alex and some very dodgy looking characters."
Not me.
Oh dear. Alfie is starstruck with John. He's gone speechless. Well, he's gone. He's gone. Good matters. Glenn Wick, good evening. Says, good evening, fellas. John the Geezer. Santa Guna. Santa. Okay. Gabriel Solano from Costa Rica, I believe.
Santa
says, hi,
Maria.
Even fellow Gooners, John is looking amazing. Amazing. He's looking like Santa.
Oh, no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah. Stan the man making 105 million available as per the rumours. Is that enough, Paul?
It probably is for what I would say, the plan and what we should be going for. As I say, 2 signings, 3 signings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at Tielemans, you potentially look at another midfielder. Yeah, Modric could be a big portion of it. But yeah, I suppose if you get a Modric, then you probably got one other player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Paul, you're talking about a backup for that position on the right for
yeah,
a competition for Saka. Then what happens to Nicolas Pepe? Is that him done now, Arsenal?
What do you
Tough, man.
want it back, Alex?
No, I don't want him back.
I look at it and I see him now.
No comment.
There's no comment. No. He hasn't really hit League One really well, has he? It's not really kind of lifted up trees. So I'd be looking to kind of just get any fee for him and kind of just move him on. Again, there's players that are just suited for it, and then there's players that are not suited for the Premier League. And unfortunately, I think he just seemed to kind of confuse himself and try and almost trick himself into going past people and then not going past anything and not doing anything. So on his day, he could score goals, he can make things happen, but as I say, you can't be a flash in the pan player. Yeah, certainly when you're trying to compete and go through, you've got to have a bit more about you. So yeah, Pepe.
You think 75 mil and Stan Kroenke's offering up 105 mil? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, him. I don't know if we
have to do some...
paid it all up either.
Yeah, we probably paid over 12 years.
Yeah. But even to get in a Mudryk, we'd have to get some serious negotiation done because if that is 100, if that's it that we're getting from Uncle Stan, like you said, 2 players, possibly 3, we might need a little bit more money than 100 million. But
yeah, well, that's it. But say again, you look at it. Even if it's a striker, you're going to be you're going to be paying a lot of money. And even if we're talking about those proven ones, where say Tony, I'm not sure we want to go anywhere near Tony at the minute. He's just been charged again with more breaches. So so
he's working for William Hill, isn't he?
Breaches and caps.
I was gutted, man. I wanted to wait. He'll ever be an Arsenal player now. No way. You'll never see that.
And Zaha, Wilfried Zaha? No?
Yeah. Again. He's worth a go, isn't he?
Still think it's going to be a bit of money, isn't he?
Is he?
I still think they'll be Palace will be trying to demand some good money. They'd probably rather let him go on free than lose him halfway through the season. In all honesty.
Surely Big Pat can sort us out a deal, man.
Yeah. Well, we need someone to do the serious negotiations for us. Anyway, anyone's just watching now. We're just coming on towards our last segment. I've got Paul, who's also the host of Sunday, the big Sunday show. And I think, are you back this Sunday, Paul, or is it going to be next Sunday?
It's Christmas Day on Sunday. It's the way it's fallen. So I was going to toy with the idea of maybe doing a midweek Sunday show. That is ever such a thing. So a little in between, and then that'll be a kind of a good little thing onto our next games after Boxing Day. So more news to come on that, I suppose.
Right. Nice one. And we've got John McGee's Santa Claus with us as well.
If Arteta wants to send me a letter, put it in the post. I'll sort him out. I'll have a word with somebody else up north.
Harry Maguire. You're up north.
Let's go into our last segment on this Canon project. And I kind of penned this as Pep pull the wool over our eyes. Now, as you know, we signed our marquee signing Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. Now, I kind of looked at their injury records, Paul. And first up, this is Gabriel Jesus's injury record. You might say it's not too bad. For me, it's quite extensive. Quite extensive, Paul and John. And this is Alexander Zinchenko's. Now, this is 2 pages. This is the first page. I think maybe the first page would be enough. But I'm thinking, did Pep see us coming? Did Pep see us coming? Gabriel Jesus, injury list, quite extensive at Man City, that is. But Alexander Zinchenko runs in 2 pages. 2 pages long of injuries. Paul?
I don't think so. I think on those 2 pages, you're looking over about 7, 8 years, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you look at it in that way. Players are going to pick up knocks. They're going to pick up muscle strains. They're nothing major. I think you've got the first part, or you had is that so the knee surgery. What was that? Not a lot. It's probably a little correction. Only like a couple of months. So it's probably had a little kind of bit of liquid on the knee or something like that. But 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. It's hard to say, isn't it? It's not. I wouldn't class it as being say like a Jack Wilshere kind of level of just being totally unlucky and getting a break, and then there is a proper kind of weakness in the physical structure of your body. I just think with those as well. Bearing in mind, also you got to realise that these players playing for City, when they talk about having knocks and everything like that, every team are like going into them, flying into them, and just trying to get that ball back and really trying to lay one on them to try and slow them down and do it. So that has a part to play in everything as well, because they are the to get at. So I don't think there's 2 good players there, and they're not sick notes as we've seen with Jesus. At the end of the day, he's been playing all the time. It's unfortunate that this has happened in the World Cup. Yeah, we could say it was predictable. Someone was going to happen. I thought more that it was going to happen to Saka at some point.
Yeah,
and that was it. And you look at it and you see some of those tackles, a broken foot or something like that, and then that's going to mean his career is going to be curtailed, because if he doesn't get protection on his foot, or he has an actual injury like Wilshere, then he might have a similar kind of like career with him in the end of the day. And you suddenly think about it and you just think, well, you're always going to be putting pressure down on that foot, and if it doesn't go in, and you need further support, metal, it isn't good. So I think Pep knew that he had 2 players, but he also knew that I think he wasn't 100% on Jesus, because he wasn't playing him in the system that he wanted to play. So I think they're good players, but it's just one of those things.
Right. Okay. What about you, John? Do you think Pep's pulled the wool over our eyes with these 2 players? I mean,
Pep ain't a mug, is he? Do you know what I mean? If he's offloading players, he's getting. That's my opinion. So he ain't gonna give his best players and not replace them. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
They got the money to do that. Jesus and Zinchenko are good players, aren't they? Red, there's a thorough sort of thing when they sign a player to check all the, and in theory they shouldn't be buying players that have got a lot of. They won't touch them with a barge pole, but there's always a chance at a gamble if they think the player's good enough, you know. That sort of injury list, that looks like my school sick notes every week.
Well, the original sick note was Darren Anderson, isn't it, at Tottenham?
There's a
When you
book
look at it
about
like that, yeah, I always had a sick note, Alex, at school. When you look at that, it does look quite bad. But going back, what I said before with Xhaka, our players, the style of play we play, we're coming in for battering, getting no protection. I'm sure against West Ham will be exactly the same because they will try and rough without a doubt. And someone's got to clamp down on it because they suffer probably, you know, a career-threatening injury. As much as I'm laughing here, to them, that's their livelihood gone. Do you know what I mean? In
But
football,
John, you
it's
say
stamped all that.
John, you say literally we need an enforcer. Isn't Granit Xhaka the enforcer for the younger players? Isn't he the
Well, you
enforcer?
think so, but not very tactful, is he? Do you know what I mean? He does do it, but he's doing it in the wrong sort of way. You know what I mean? He's got to be a bit more, you know what I mean? He just go out and do it. And he's kind of a marked man.
What's that, Paul?
He's doing it the Arsenal way. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
it can be anything, and we get booked for little things, and then when it comes the other way, that we don't see the same kind of treatment, and this is why some of his like misdemeanors have been highlighted because they've been straight red cards, whereas other teams would probably only have a yellow. Yeah, those ones at Man City, for instance, and whatever that way he's kind of come in, and you just think it's I don't know, it's been tarred with a brush, and I just don't think we get that same treatment.
Yeah,
no, he's a marked man, Zach. I will say that for him. When he goes out, the refs have got their eye on him straight. But you know, there's ways of doing it. You got to be a bit more subtle. A word with the refs because you know that they are a joke. You know they are. They're just giving the players no protection, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. The lads get seriously injured again, or they are already. But you know, but yeah, going back to Pep. Yeah, like I say, Alex, if he's getting rid of players, he's replacing them with better players. That's all. Do you know what I mean? As good as they are, he's downgrading. So you know, and trouble is with the money they got, we got Ireland. Who've we got?
Yeah, it's good you say that. But that's the difference, isn't it?
Let's be honest. If he was playing for us up front right now, we wouldn't have a fear in the world. You know him. So we've got to make do with what we got.
Yeah.
And try and rest of the season somehow.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul. You were saying something, Paul.
Yeah, I was just saying about the difference between us and City at the end of the day. I think it's easier to upgrade your squad when you've say got 2 or 3 options in that squad for each position. So you've got your midfielders and everything like that, and you can say, okay, we can get rid of one, but then we know we've got this one, as opposed to getting someone in when we really are kind of almost at times bare bone, and you're trying to build it from scratch. And I think that's just what it is, and you just look at it and just think they've just got an unbelievable squad just in general. Their bench costs probably 350 million grand. That's mad.
What I think we have got, we've got a better team mentality. Do you know what I mean? Teamwork, that togetherness. We've got a small squad, and they work their socks off for each other. They're not just doing it for the money. They're improving footballers. They've got something to prove, and play for each other, the Arsenal lads.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it still ain't all quality. Man City up front, you know. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back into the live chat maybe for the last time. Tiganosaurus says, John, I just told my child Santa is an Arsenal supporter.
He's a gooner, red and white, through and through. When I was
Here's one for you, Paul.
past my house yesterday, seriously, he did. Give him a $5.
Is that all? Just a $5?
Didn't have
Paul, here's
any
one here
change,
for you.
man. They knocked on my door.
And you opened the door.
Yeah, it's for the Cubs, man. Bless him. Passed on a big truck.
Paul, what's your best
a
Arsenal
gooner.
kit of all time?
I'll tell you what, this
Fine.
one on is my most iconic one.
Nice
Just,
one, Paul. I will say that, yeah.
I just hang it up and I see Tony Adams. And I just look at it like that and I just think, I just want to, go back to seeing him. I'll tell you what a defence. We'd have had a Tony Adams in alongside Saliba.
Oh,
interesting.
Adams and Martin Key. Tony Adams and Martin Keown wouldn't let other users like what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to another kit, the blue away kit with the light blue lightning strike, Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh right, okay.
Oh yeah.
And that was a nice one.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll go back a few years. 1975, 76. The home kit with just the cannon facing the right way. Yeah, none of this sponsorship deals. Yeah.
I wasn't even thought of on this planet then, Alex. I was a few years just after. It's fine.
They had that kit for about 20 years, didn't they, Alex?
They did. The cannon facing the right way. But anyway, what about you, John?
Like with a cannon. But I think the double winning one of all time, Alex.
Yeah.
I do like that one.
Yeah.
1970. I think that's my favourite one. That's lovely.
It's just the bright yellow, isn't it? It's just that nice
yellow and blue. Yeah, she wore a yellow ribbon. They got so many kits. They got so many kits now. You can't keep up.
Yeah. But didn't Liam Brady say literally that he preferred that kit, the away kit? He said that, didn't he? When we went to Liam Brady, even with Liam Brady, he said that the away kit has been really favourable to us.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's meant to be our lucky cup.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Our FA Cup sort of kit. I don't know, but
go back into the live chat maybe.
50s, I think we won one or so in 1950.
I don't go back that far.
Been about then, Alex. I will.
Just about, John. Just about. Cheers, mate. Go back Glenn Wynn says Pepe has been done a long time. Yeah. I know. I mean, he got £72 million and
no comment.
I'd like to see him at Tottenham.
What? No.
I'd like to see him go to Tottenham.
No comment. Long time, dear Alex. For I would like a Mudryk and was that? Oh yeah, Marcus Thuram are enough on the left. The title big up to you all. Marcus Thuram, no. For me, if we do sign only one player in the January transfer window, Paul and John, I'd like it to be Sofian Amrabat. The Moroccan midfielder.
Malik,
That's me.
he's good, man.
Excellent. Yeah.
Sign him up.
Lynn says, knowing Arteta and Edu, they will go after who they really want. So not to erupt the team. Like Michael said, we don't want to upset the apple cart, at least. Too much. For me, I think there could be more, but they need to keep the price down. Paul, how much would you be willing to pay for Mudryk?
Yeah, again, for a player that level that is bursting on the scene and has hit the Champions League very well, you're probably going to be paying. I tell you, I think it's going to be on levels of Pepe. I look at it like that. I think you could maybe get them down towards the 60. Yeah. But then I'm suddenly thinking there's got to be some other carrot that's going to be dangled that way. Maybe Pepe the other direction.
Oh, there you go.
The following season. Yeah. And you look at it like that. Maybe that's an avenue to kind of go down. And but yeah, I can't see him really saying or accepting kind of like just nearly half the value of what they were kind of like saying for. So I think it's going to be more likely the 70 mark.
Yeah. Goodness. Tide says it's likely we won't be paying up front for players we buy, thus allow us to buy a few players. What's your thoughts, John?
Thanks, mate.
Can you hear John?
What was that? Yeah, what was that, mate?
Yeah, well, basically, he's just saying that we won't be paying up front for players. And
why
actually,
not?
Do you think the spending power? Do we have the spending power? And do we have the people to negotiate like Man City do?
We've got everything in place, Alex. And it's very that Father Kroenke gets his money out in January. Because checking all that, you know. We've got Newcastle coming up. Man City in a problem. Sound who we're going to buy. Who are Man City going to buy in January? Do you think they're not going to sit money out? Newcastle, they're going to get the money out. Spurs, you know, if we go all that and pay whatever it takes to get the best come and play with the best team in the world. That's my policy, Alex. I ain't a businessman. And that's if you want to win stuff, you get the best in your club. You get the best tools for the trade. You know what I mean? So there's no question. He's just got to put his hand in his pocket. Merry Christmas, Father Kroenke.
As simple as that.
One other thing, obviously,
mate.
One other thing we need to kind of realise is that kind of UEFA watch list as well with the financial fair play.
Yeah.
That's quite precarious in all honesty, and you look at it and you just think, well, yeah, we're one of say 20 or 25 teams that are on this watch list, but yeah, reported losses of 213 million over the last 3 years. Obviously, that's COVID related, but UEFA say it should only be around 30 million. So you look at it like that, and you think, how much impact is it all going to be? And you're suddenly thinking, if we don't get Champions League this year, and say even if we totally go out and really kind of splash loads of money, what position are we going to be left in when we do get that Champions League money come in, and how our finances do actually look there? Because if we're still in doo-doo with UEFA, then they're going to really kind of probably come at us being an English club.
But Paul, what are the fines? Would we be deducted points, or would it be a massive fine that we'd have to pay if we infringe on the fair
Well,
play rules?
I think it's going to be fines because again, it was. I think it happened with PSG, didn't it? I think when it first came out, and it kind of got washed. There was a bit of just washed over, and nothing really happened. So I'm sure they're waiting for an English club to do it to really make an example out of it. And yeah, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be us because I know that will be again just something else there and then. I'd rather get our house in order and in control, and then we're in Champions League. We've got the revenue stream, and this last 3 years have been unprecedented. So we know that, and we need to get back on the even kill. That's all.
Yeah. Well, actually, Ray good evening to you. He just typed in what I was actually thinking. Is the fine not worth? Is it not worth paying? Is it not worth it, John? Just pay the fine. Was worth it? Just get the players.
It's like a man with a. It's like if you got a Rolls Royce, you're parking up here. You just park on the double yellow, get off, come back later. You don't worry. You know what I mean? If you're like me, got an old banger, you just have to where you're meant to. But no, pay the fine. But we shouldn't be getting into that. I mean, Alex, we shouldn't be going down that road. Let's get this club in London, one of the best clubs in the world. You've got to speculate to accumulate. Get your money out of your bank. Go and try and win the Premier League. But what I'm thinking is quite happy with a top 4 spot. So he might not. He might think, do you get a lot more money for winning the Premier League? I'm not sure. But see in January, won't we, if he's serious or not?
Well, we'll find
out.
That's
the problem.
Yeah.
When is the January? When is the January transfer?
January 1st.
The opening of it.
January 1st.
Yeah. So Father Kronk, he's got to get his money out, and if he doesn't end of the title.
Well, we shall find out whether they've learnt their lesson from the previous January transfer window and how ambitious Edu, Arteta and Silent Stan really are. Let's see what they can do. We've actually come to an end on this second Canon project, back-to-back shows. Paul, I've got to say thank you. Really, really, I do appreciate your time. I know that you've got a family and everything else there, but thank you, fella, for coming on. And again, whoever's watching now, guys, as well as watching the Big Sunday show, you need to go over and subscribe to In the North Bank. I think I've left the link in the description box below. Go over and subscribe to Paul's channel, In the Brain, In the North Bank. Nice one, geezer. Nice one.
Good. Thanks,
appreciate it. Yeah. And as for Father Christmas, I'm waiting for my Prezi. Nice Lamborghini, maybe.
Have you got my list, John?
List at the moment, Alex, so you need to behave, mate.
Yeah, I'm working on that. John, thank you. Thank you for coming back on Canon Point. You guys are always welcome.
Had a great evening. I appreciate coming on, talking to you, good gooners, you know, and good. I can't really do Sundays. I'm quite busy. I'll get killed if I might be right now they're off, but yeah, they're all good shows. And last night's show was another really. The boys know what they're talking about. But Alex, you know, if Stan don't get that money out, I'll give up on the bloke in January, because if he don't.
But how can you give up? Because I mean, where do we stand? We're on top of the tree, 5 points clear. So we can't really argue with that, John, can we?
We can't argue, but you know, we've got to improve. Let's be honest. Position. None of us thought we were going to get there.
Yeah.
None of us. It would be great, you know. I think if we're all honest, we all did. We far exceeded that. That in front, now we need to keep it there because we might not ever get this chance to get in a lifetime, Alex. I'm not just talking about this year. It might be a lifetime. So that's serious about football. They need to put their money where their mouth is. And we've injuries so far. So let's see what they're doing. Let's all get behind it. It's all gooners.
Nice one. Well said. Right, and with that said, we are out. I will be back again tomorrow with another Canon project with maybe some different faces and maybe with, I don't know, Santa Claus again. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Ho, ho,
Anyway.
ho.
Santa Terry.
This has been Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.